Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're going to look at professional bodybuilders to uncover a secrets of fat loss, and I guarantee it is not what you think. We're talking about a surprisingly patient method, one that's all about keeping muscle, not just losing weight as fast as possible. And honestly, it might just change how you think about dieting forever.
So let's dive right in. When you picture a bodybuilder getting ready for a show, what comes to mind? Probably some kind of brutal, miserable, unsustainable diet, right? But what if I told you their method was actually a masterclass in sustainability, something that pretty much anyone could learn from?
Yeah, the common idea is that it's just reckless starvation. But the reality? It's the complete opposite. One expert said something that really stuck with me. No one is more mindful of preserving tissue than bodybuilders. Think about that. Their entire game is about losing fat while protecting every single ounce of hard-earned muscle. This isn't reckless starvation. It's meticulous preservation.
So how in the world do they pull this off? Well, the whole system is built on two really simple but totally unbreakable rules. You gotta see these as the foundation before anything else even starts.
Okay, rule number 1, your first non-negotiable, protein. We're talking 1 gram of protein for every pound of your body weight, and that's every single day, no exceptions. This is your primary defense against muscle loss when you're eating less. It's basically the anchor for the whole strategy.
And the second rule? Relentless tracking. The quote really says it all. If you put something in your mouth, you count it. And that means everything. A little bit of sauce, a drink, even just a lick of something off a spoon. Yeah, at first it's going to feel tedious, but you get so good at it that you can eventually just eyeball food and be pretty spot on. The main point here is, nothing gets a free pass. Nothing goes uncounted.
All right, now we're getting to the most important part. Seriously, lean in for this one. The secret isn't about how much you cut your calories, but how slowly and strategically you do it. This is, hands down, the biggest mistake most of us make.
So, the whole process is staggered. It's step by step. First, you've got to figure out your maintenance calories. How much food you need to just stay the same weight. Then, and this is key, you create a tiny deficit. We're talking maybe 300 calories. And you just hold it there. You wait until your average weekly weight stops going down, until you hit a plateau. Only then do you make another tiny little adjustment. You're basically milking every single calorie, just squeezing out all the progress you can without shocking your body.
But why so slow? What's the big deal? Well, it's all about avoiding this nasty trap called metabolic adaptation. See, when you slash your calories too aggressively, your body just freaks out. It thinks you're starving, so it goes into survival mode. It fights back. Your metabolism slows to a crawl, and it even reduces those little subconscious movements, like fidgeting, just to conserve every last bit of energy. And boom, you hit a hard plateau. And the worst part? Not only do you feel awful, but you've actually dinged up your metabolism, which makes it super easy to gain all the weight back, and often even more the second you stop dieting. And this chart, it shows you exactly what happens. Look at the aggressive cut. You get that big initial drop, which feels great, right? But then, flatline. You hit a wall. Now look at the slow approach. Sure, you lose less in that first week, but you get consistent, steady fat loss week after week after week. It really is a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so we've got the rules and the slow burn strategy, but how does this all fit together? I mean, how do you actually structure these calories so you still have enough energy to, live your life and train hard while you're in a deficit? Well, a really common starting point, a great framework, is this 40-40-20 split. So 40% of your calories come from protein that hits our non-negotiable target, 40% from carbs, which is your fuel for performance, and the last 20% from fat, which is crucial for supporting your hormones.
Okay, so here's the real key when it comes time to make those small adjustments we talked about. Think of it like this. Protein is your muscle insurance policy. It stays constant. You never touch it. Fat is also critical, so you set a minimum level and you don't go below that. That leaves carbohydrates. Carbs become the main dial you can turn. As you progress, you slowly turn down the carb dial to keep the deficit going. They are the performance fuel and they're your main variable.
And finally, let's talk about a simple little tool, a biohack really, that the pros use to make their body way more efficient with the food it gets. And listen, this isn't about burning more calories. It's about making your body use those calories better.
Now this is fascinating. A simple walk after a meal can be more potent than a powerful drug like metformin for controlling blood sugar. And again, it's not about walking off the meal. It's all about something called nutrient partitioning. So think of it this way. After you eat, your body has to decide where to send all that energy. A simple walk acts like a traffic cop. It basically tells those nutrients, the carbs, the protein, nope, don't go into fat storage, go straight to the muscles. It helps shuttle everything right where you want it for repair and fuel. It's such a simple hack to make your food work for you instead of against you.
So when we look at this whole thing, this incredibly meticulous, patient, scientific approach, what's the single biggest lesson? What's the one thing we can all take away from this and actually apply to our own goals?
It's so simple, it's almost frustrating. It's patience. An aggressive, all-out diet just leads to burnout, hormonal problems, and you lose a ton of muscle. This professional approach, it's not about losing weight as fast as humanly possible. No, it's about losing fat as effectively as possible, all while protecting your metabolism, protecting your muscle, and honestly, protecting your sanity. And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. The next time you decide to set a goal for fat loss, you have to ask yourself, am I just chasing a quick, temporary number on the scale, or am I trying to build a sustainable, long-term result? Because that choice, the choice between speed and sustainability, well, that's everything.